Hello, welcome 8-9 Rugby for another week and into the guest chair this week from Rugby Twitter, Rugby Blue Sky, Rugby Reddit, and one day when the kid stopped stealing his copper pipes from the outstanding Rugby Update on YouTube is Riaan Louw. Hello, mate. How you doing? Happy New Year, etc., etc.
Yes, hello, it's me. I am alive. I am still here. If you don't follow me on all those other things, I am not dead. I'm just extremely busy. But well, glad to be back. Glad to talk about rugby.
This is proof of life for Rugby Twitter, for Rugby YouTube, etc., etc. It's good to catch up, mate.
It's very nice.
And a rapid, I guess, recap of how all this is going to work in 2026. This is the next evolution of what you know and love from the 8-9 combo. Obviously, Harry's departure means the combo part has made way for a whole host of guest hosts each week rather than permanent co-hosts. And at times we might still tee up an old school interview type chat, but it does also mean that we'll mostly run with two voices as we've been doing for the last month or so. So shorter episodes, quicker turnaround times, all that sort of stuff as well. And it does leave the door open for the return of Harry Jones before too long. And stay tuned for that. I'm hearing, mate, wheels are in motion. So
he has not shut up on the WhatsApp group. So he's alive as well, I could say.
He's still going. Sure. He's definitely still going. Definitely still going. And in fact, I'm hearing wheels are in motion for him to make a cameo on 8-9 Rugby on Substack too. So we'll see how we go. Yeah. I feel like, mate, I'm starting the year just by lining up colleagues I spoke to over the summer. And like Charlie and Hugh and Pat before you were another one to urge me to keep going with this. So genuinely, thank you for that. I appreciate your support.
I mean, this is basically a chat around the braai, but we get to have other people listening onto it. Why wouldn't we want to keep talking? It's always fun. Yeah,
that's it. That's what it is. I'm just keeping going just so I can record catching up with people. That's easy. Here's cheers. We'll continue, mate. So I've set you a little bit of homework. What are you cheering from the rugby world around the weekend?
Cheer. I was actually thinking about it. The thing that I think I want to cheer this week is the new Six Nations format. It used to be 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off, 2 weeks. That 1 week in the middle was very bad because you'd start with your little club games and then you'd think, okay, next week we can get them back. And then there's a Six Nations game. And then it was just too much stop-start. But now moving it to 3 games, look how good it got. Look at the attrition. And you could see some guys were knackered. They'll have 1 week off and then 2 weeks as a little race to the end. I've really loved that. The change.
It's been a fantastic series. And Pat McKay and I were talking about this just last week. Like, what's it going to be? Like, a lot of these blokes wouldn't have played 3 tests in 3 weeks. Before. Yeah. So, what are they going to be like? What's the fitness levels like? What's it going to get? What's it going to be like when it gets to this off week? How many of them are going to back up for their clubs this weekend? I can't imagine it'll be a lot.
Very many.
No.
That's a good it might affect, we've always been told in the World Cup, where the Southern Hemisphere teams are so used to playing 3 tests coming into a World Cup, 3 hot tests in July or whatever it is. Whereas the Six Nations teams, they play early in the year and then they don't. This is maybe battle hardening a few teams, from the north. It could set them up for, okay, this is what it's like to play 3 really hard tests in a row, semi-final, quarterfinal, final.
And they need to, if we're doing this Nations Championship thing, they're going to have to play 3 tests in 3 weekends in July, and they're potentially going to play 4 tests in 4 weekends in November. So it's a good one. It's a good shout. I'm going to give cheers to Ireland, and Irish eyes are definitely smiling again. I think there was an expectation around Ireland going to Twickenham last weekend. There was an expectation of some kind of English response after another Calcutta Cup loss to Scotland. And the result we got, we'll talk about it in just a second. But that whole spectacle and Ireland's response and ascendancy and then going on with it, that was really, really good to watch. I really enjoyed the game.
such a good game. I mean, it didn't start off as a like steamroller. It was going hammer and tongs at the start there.
Absolutely.
You already got injured. When the ref is injured, that already adds another horse spanner in the works.
I saw a great stat, and I completely forgot who put it up, so my apologies. But that was the 6th occasion apparently where a referee has had to be replaced in an England Six Nations game, and I love that someone has kept track of that.
When are they going to start saying us like referee ruck attendances and referee?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a good question.
And all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. The great rugby chats will continue in just a second after you all hit the red subscribe button down there in the corner on the 89 YouTube. If you hit follow, hit subscribe, hit like, whatever it happens to be. If you're listening on any of the pod platforms, and wherever you are, however you take all this in, make sure the notifications are turned on. Six Nations round 3, mate, and what a weekend it was. Ireland 42 beat England 21 at Twickenham. Scotland 26 just scraped home against Wales 23 in Cardiff. And then France did it pretty comfortably in Lille, 33 points to 6 over Italy. And maybe we'll start there. What did you make of Italy in red jerseys? Because I didn't watch that game live. I went back to replay and highlights, and I went, what am I watching here?
No, it was a weird one. It apparently was commemorating someone. I'm not sure who, a player or a general or something like that.
I missed that, obviously, yes.
Yeah, it was a special edition. I'm sorry, I don't know exactly who it was, but some commemorative jersey. I wasn't surprised by it. The jackets at the start. Did you see the
bomber jackets? I did see those.
Those were, I was right back in high school getting shoved into a locker by a rugby jock when I saw that. But those look pretty cool. And I think their kit sponsor is Macron, which is the same as my team, my club team, the Lions. And we don't get cool stuff like that. So I don't know what the double standard is here. But I think they look pretty good. Now, years later, after the Springboks wore those absolutely burning orange kits in Argentina in this rugby championship a few years ago, we hated it then. Now everyone's like, I'd love one of those. 5 years from now, everyone will be like, I'd love one of those red jerseys.
Now it's got cult status. Remember a couple of years ago, remember about 15 years ago, the Crusaders wore this horrible silver thing. It had the big red sword up through the middle, had red shoulders. No, it was a horrendous kit at the time. Horrendous. I saw one recently on eBay. And it was a live auction that was taking place, and it was north of 400 US and still going.
See? I know. None of us know investment or anything. No. That's why we're all middle class. We don't know what's a good thing when we see it.
I know. Yeah. I look at my rack of jerseys over here and I'm thinking, I'm not sure how many of them are going to crack 400 US. But anyway. Ireland were very, very good, mate. They were very good, weren't they?
Yeah, the scrum was creaking, and I thought, here we go. This is the way in for England. But it didn't last very long. They kind of evened it out, and then it was just the ruck battle. England could not secure their ball. They could not slow down the Irish ball. I think Ireland, before the game, rightfully, a lot of people gave them a bit of a stick for not picking multiple locks or any locks on the bench.
Yes.
They had Byrne, they had McCarthy, Ryan. But I think what they went with instead was just speed to get to the ruck. They didn't care if the English lineout was terrible. And Ireland just had the speed to get to every ruck they wanted. And England could not keep up. That Jamison Gibson Park try where he tapped the penalty and just ran through
them,
At blindside ruck, I saw Ollie Chesham. He was like trying to get to the blind side, and then he saw the penalty, so he slowed down. You could see he wanted to put his hands on the knee, and then all of a sudden Gibson Park was away, and you could just see they were knackered. They could not keep up with the pace of the game.
Yeah, they literally ran England off their feet. You're right, and it was Jamison Gibson Park was the official man of the match, but I saw the contenders late in the game they put up, and it was McCloskey, and it was Byrne, and it was Jack Crowley, and then the commentator mentioned
Gibson Park was there, and
yeah,
was it O'Brien
Gibson,
maybe?
It might have been too. So there was 4 or 5 in contention, but then the commentator mentioned 2 or 3 others, and I'm thinking, mate, you don't want to make this field harder. Already a pretty hot field to pick your man of the match from, and he picked Gibson in the end. But McCloskey was absolutely phenomenal. I said I saw an image of him on the socials, and he's sort of part man, part machine. And I've got to say, mate, I couldn't tell whether it was AI or not.
No, the Belfast Geordie Barrett, he was like, that's all I could see. The height, the speed, the skill. He's done goal kicking as well for his club. And as a person who watches the URC and comes up against Stuart McCloskey often, we've always rated him. Well, I've always rated him. He is one of my favorite centers. Him and his partner Hume at Ulster are a brilliant combination. And then the work they do with Balakoon on the wing as well from Ulster.
Yes.
They are so good. And McCloskey, he's a nice guy as well. I've heard him speak. I've seen his like little online presence. He's a very funny man. He kind of knows he's a big gangly giraffe as well.
but he puts some serious hits.
When he hits that line, like and just it looks like people don't want to stop him. They don't want to tackle him. It's always your man. And then the speed. Late game, the speed is so good.
Yeah, no, he's such a good player. They just got off to such a good start, and it was when Balakoon scored his try, that was, and Crowley missed the conversion, but that was 15-0 in 27 minutes, and already at that point you're thinking, I don't know how England get back in this. They score again, and then it wasn't till. Well, Fraser Dingle scored his try. When was this? That's right in the shadows of halftime. So that was in the 41st minute as it was. So 22-7 at halftime looked like it might have even flattered England a bit because they hadn't fired many shots at all.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And what happened to their kicking game? Like, I'm so used to seeing Alex Mitchell like behind 4 guys with their legs fully outstretched. Let's send it up. Someone chases it. Someone catches it. And I just, for the last 2 weeks, actually, I have not seen. I don't know if they're trying something different. They feel like, okay, we need to change before the World Cup, or what the plan is. But they have totally abandoned that kick the leather off of a game plan of theirs.
Which is in absolute contrast to what we saw coming out of France last week. Where I'm sure you saw the vision of the coach just throwing a ball up, and it's a group of the outside backs, and they are competing at high ball, trying to tap it down to a teammate. So that was surprising. And they even, like, Stewart was yellow carded, but then he came back on for a couple of minutes, and then he actually got hooked before half time.
For Marcus Smith who came on. So there were times where you had
wasn't going to kick
Arundel, Marcus Smith, and George Ford as your back 3.
I
don't know what team in the world would not want to kick high balls on those 3 guys.
Absolutely.
Just an absolute. I don't know. Maybe stuff happened that they weren't expecting, but I don't know if he's injured or not. George Furbank, where is he? Freeman has been playing a lot on the outside center.
Outside center, Ollie Lawrence came back for this game.
But weird choices in there. They were the team matching South Africa's aerial game the most in the world. We were told that this is the side from the north that we must worry about. And for the last 2 weeks, it's just not happened. They've been exposed on the edge. Everyone's running around them, especially in the 13 channel. And then they've lost their high ball ability. I don't know what's happened.
And they'd climbed to. Had they even got to 2 in the world?
I think there was 3.
Oh, maybe them and France have been flipping and flopping, maybe with wins and losses and all that. But there was genuine debate as to is England actually best the team in the north? Is France and now a couple of losses.
Yeah.
And it's like we've forgotten about the 10 wins in a row, and the pressure is now back on the coach.
I mean, we bristle at the greatest championship, but man, just 3 weeks of rugby, and how good is it to go from England or this world threat? We have to be careful. Look what they did to New Zealand, and here we are now. Borthwick doesn't know what he's doing. All of a sudden, again. Ireland were a aging, slow team that needs to refresh. And what's Andy Farrell doing 2 weeks ago? And now they are like.
2 weeks is a long time in rugby. It really is. So Crowley kicks a couple of penalties in and around the hour. Jamie Osborne scores his try in the 69th minute, and that is well and truly the sealer. Sam Underhill scores a try after that, and that was all she wrote. So 42-21 to Ireland, an absolute cracking game.
Yeah.
Scotland scraped home in Cardiff. Wales led that game for a long, long time. It was the 75th minute when Turner scored his try. That was the first time Scotland led for the game. And I didn't watch this live, but I went back to it, and I'm watching, going, no, Wales, you're not going to. And it would have been exactly the same.
You and I both like cricket. I'm South African. You're an Australian. The first thing you get taught when you walk into cricket practice, keep your eye on the ball.
Absolutely.
At all times, keep your eye on the ball. And what do Wales do? They walk back past halfway, looking away from the Scotsman, talking amongst themselves. And
why is that just being hit over our heads for 6? Yeah. And
I don't know if it might be just a symptom of them lacking that experienced leadership. Yes. They have a very young captain. Well, Dowie Lake is now captaining. He's not as young, but Daff Jenkins was captain for a while. Very inexperienced leaders. No one to tell them, guys, get up, get in your positions, turn around, keep your eyes on the ball. We've just scored. Don't take your foot off the gas. And definitely they took their foot off the gas, and Finn Russell is Finn Russell. He's going to do whatever he can.
And he took a while to get into this game too. He might have had a bit of a Calcutta Cup hangover, and I don't actually mean that in a literal sense. I probably should clarify. He took a while to get into this game, but then he obviously got to a point where he went, all right, let's do this properly now. And
I'm loose now.
Right,
I'm loose now.
All right, I'm good to go. Let's just get on with it. Let's get on and win this game. He took a attempted penalty in the 80th minute, and I still can't, several days later, I still can't work out why he was trying to do that, because even if he kicks it, to 29-23, like it doesn't take a bonus point away from Wales. I don't get the point of that anyway.
Maybe they were just adrenaline up or something. But it was so good to see.
I want more points.
It was good to see Wales have a good game though.
It genuinely was. It genuinely was, and they will be annoyed enough at that to go, all right, well, let's see what we can do in these last 2 weeks. And you couldn't rule out them getting a scalp. There's some. Everyone always points to Italy, but I mean, don't they have? No, they don't have England left. They have Ferrari. They've got Ireland this weekend. Ireland and Italy to finish. So that could be spicy the last round.
That last one could be the wooden spoon decider, as they call them. I don't know about Ireland. All of a sudden, Ireland do not look like a team for the taking anymore. So,
no, but imagine if Ireland lost next weekend. Like imagine the narratives around that. Oh, well, they're still an aging team. They still need to refresh.
Farrell, I can't see that one happening. based on my Super Brew, I am literally second last on my group, above the guy who forgot to pick points. So what do I know about rugby? Maybe Wales could come through. But yeah, it was just good. The pack looked cohesive for the first time in ages. They were hunting together. The back line was firing. Costello at 10, he was looking good and comfortable.
Looked really good.
Yeah. So they have been picking and repicking people so often that you had no idea who's in the team and who isn't. So hopefully now this has laid some foundation for who they will pick going forward. The center partnership is a couple of big boys, some fast wingers, and then just keep it packed together that works together and doesn't keep giving away penalties, because that's been one of their big issues, is just penalties, yellow cards, all that kind of stuff.
That has definitely been an issue for them.
I think I saw a stat at halftime. It was like 8 penalties to Scotland, 5 to Wales, and look what you get when you have good discipline.
That's it. France, as I said, were pretty comfortable beating Italy 33-8. Italy weren't able to get their scrum going to the same effect that they could against Ireland the week before, and France just had that in hand from the start, really, didn't they?
Where's Miafu from? Melbourne or something? It's just that big Australian meat. It almost felt like this week France were like, okay, forget about scoring as much as you can. Let's see if we can defend really well, because it felt like they were happy to have Italy just run at them for long periods of time.
Yes. It was sort of like, all right, let's try and win this playing differently. What can we do? And so Miafu at one point went, I know, I'll rip off a left foot drop punt 60 meters or whatever it was. And you know, that he just dropped, that was just straight into AFL mode. He's just I know what to do here.
You should keep it. That could be a unique, signifier. Miafu's behind the ruck. He's going to be the clearance kicker. I'd love that.
If you set a lock up for a clearance kick, no one is seeing that coming. It's a good point.
Yeah. But a forward pack, too dominant, too big, too strong, and Italy couldn't get through it. I think that was basically the story of that game.
So the table looks this way. France are on top, Scotland are second, Ireland 3, England 4, Italy, then Wales closing it out. What's the 2-minute summary of what we've seen so far over the first 3 rounds? It has been a really, really enjoyable tournament so far. That's for sure.
Good. Been very entertaining. Glad it was 3 rounds back to back to back. That was really nice. It gave us more time to really get into the championship. I'm happy with a break for a weekend now to just kind of reset ourselves. And it just looks like France come and catch us. Doesn't seem like anyone can. And then Ireland are maybe looking at a bit of a redemption arc after a couple of, 6 or 8 months of not looking that good. And then the last one is, can Italy step up and truly say, okay, we are now in the, we are not wooden spoon guys anymore at all. We are now truly out of that.
We are part of this championship, for sure. So in round 4 next weekend, so Ireland hosts Wales, Scotland hosts France, Italy hosts England, and all 3 of those have got something about them, and I think that's been the thing about it this year, is that every game has had something about that's made them worth watching in some shape or form. So
reminds me of the good rugby championship last year. That was so good. They had to step up to the plate now.
It was bound to happen at some point, wasn't it? So it means then that this weekend the competitions return, and this was sort of obviously a reason to bring you back into the fold, mate, because I've got to admit I've sort of lost track of the competitions a little bit over the summer. I didn't watch. I think I watched 1 premiership game in mid-January, maybe. So let's start with the ERC. Table looks this way. Glasgow Warriors lead from Leinster. Stormers are 3rd. Ulster are 4th. Cardiff, Munster, Lions, Bulls throw out the top 8. And so the surprise there to me, and I mean this in the nicest possible way, mate, is that I didn't expect to see the Lions in the top 8. And I know they won their catch-up game on the weekend over the Stormers.
the Sharks.
Sharks, big pardon. Yeah. So that's what's thrown them into the top 8, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's hard for me. It's like I want us to do well, but I really would like a new coach. So maybe we should do worse.
Yeah.
It's
right.
that like that's why we're forever mid-table. We do just enough to not get him fired. It does look a little better from us this year, at least. We are doing well against South African teams, which we haven't done for a long time. But really, the surprise package, or the thing that's been good this year, has been seeing a lot of the SA teams doing well overseas, excluding the Lions. But the Stormers did well overseas.
Stormers have been playing really well, haven't they? Yeah.
And the URC has always set up that the South African teams do play a lot of their overseas games front end of the competition when it's not as cold and it's still quite hot in South Africa. So we do a lot of touring up north during the first half of the season.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, the South African sides are all mid-tables and no one's looking that good. And then the end of season, we have like 6, 7, 8 games at home.
hoist the wet sail. So
this is kind of that period now that comes up. So we should be seeing the SA side starting to kind of flex their muscle.
So how do you guys treat this Six Nations period? Is it sort of like a mini pre-season / off-season in the middle of the season?
Supposed to be the off-season, technically. How we've done it is, I think the SA Players Association thing or whatever, they said, no, we need to have at least 6 consecutive weeks off for players.
Right.
And if initially their thing was all of them at the same time, and South African Rugby was just like, that is not possible. We can't do that. So it's been individualized, per player now. And usually when the Six Nations starts, that's when you should go on Instagram and follow the Springboks and stuff, because that's when all of them end up in Bali or New York or at a Lakers game.
Gotcha.
This is when you get the more interesting posts. It's not just, when you get a lot of honeymoons, because a lot of marriages happen. This is the only time that they have.
This is their 6-week window to do it. Yeah, right. And maybe that answers my next question, because I thought a week ago that I was going to ask you, like, has there ever been any thought to start, so for the South African teams to start the ERC, maybe a month or 5 weeks later than the rest of the competition, but they spend this Six Nations period playing themselves?
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine that, like, the Premiership Cup keeps going, and France just keep playing anyway. Some of the Island Welsh teams playing games of some sort, but South Africans just sort of sit there and go, all right, we'll go to Bali then for a week.
I think because we've got the Currie Cup just after the Rugby Championship, there's that keeps the guys going. So we do have literally just this 6-week period to take a break. There's no other time. So we do need at some point to switch off and
to stop.
Even in December it's now been 5. I think this is the 4th or 5th URC, and it's still weird for South Africans to be following rugby in December. We're also used to this. Should be cricket time. This should be summer sports. So I think it's fun. I almost wish we could play during this period in the Six Nations and rather take December off, so that it just lines up with.
That's what I wonder.
Yeah. That would feel better to me. But no, that's when all the season starts up north. So that's when they really want us to be in the competition. It's good for television, all that kind of stuff,
Yeah, depending on how conversations go in the World Rugby meetings this week, we might be playing the Rugby Championship in February and March. Maybe.
Yeah. That would be weird as well. Like, what do you do with the cricket? Like,
Well, I mean, the international cricket season in Australia is done by February, but I don't fancy watching Test rugby being played in Brisbane or Perth in February. That'd be
no. They might be cancelled because of fires or something.
Exactly.
In Joburg, it's like a lot of people say, oh no, we always kick off at 2:30 in the afternoon, the Lions games in Joburg, because of no one wants to be at the stadium at night. But that's one factor. The other factor is we have thunderstorms nearly every day starting around 4:00. So if you're in the stadium outside and there's all of sudden a lightning storm, the game will have to be called off. That happens constantly during the summer. So yeah,
it'll take you 4 hours to play a game with all the lightning breaks.
Imagine a New Zealand Springbok decider, and then all of a sudden, no, there's lightning. Please stop the game.
We're going to have to come back for the reserve day.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So there's some interesting games coming up then this weekend. Cardiff and Leinster Lions hosting the Stormers will be interesting. Bulls and Sharks will be.
I want to be there.
Yeah, the Bulls and Sharks will be interesting as well. What game are you really looking forward to this weekend?
Actually, Cardiff Leinster. I don't think Leinster will have their big players there.
No.
Yeah, so that should, and Cardiff is, I think they're in the top 4, aren't they? They've been doing quite well this season.
They are 5th, yes.
Yeah, so that should actually be fairly good. And then Lions Stormers, that's a big one, because if the Lions can keep winning, they can keep pressure on the Sharks to win the local Shield thing that has become more important all of a sudden to me now that we might win it. So so that's a big deal, to keep the pressure on the Sharks. And then the Bulls Sharks, now that the JP Peterson has been made coach of the Sharks full time, that's going to be interesting. The Safford games are good because we are full strength. There's going to be a few Springboks who have had their rest now that'll be coming back. Not all of the big ones, but there will be a few in, so that those games should be good. And then just to see if I think Ospreys, no, they won't be that huge. I think about Cardiff Leinster for me, and then the Safford games. They should be the ones to really look forward to.
makes a fair point. The Premiership standings, the Premiership, I have sort of been keeping a rough track of. I certainly knew that Northampton and Bath were going on top. But when I look at that table, Bristol are 3rd, Leicester are 4th. Basically, what I see is that Bristol has basically taken the place of Sale Sharks in the top 4, and otherwise it's pretty much the same as last year. Looks to be how it's going to me.
And Bath, I think, was kind of running away with it this time last year, but this year
they were starting to get away. But it's a little bit closer this year. So Bath have got Saracens this weekend. Quins host Gloucester. Northampton playing Newcastle. Exeter Sale could be interesting, and then Leicester hosting Bristol Bears on Sunday at Welford Road. That'll be a ripping game as well.
Yeah, and it should be good as well. Because of the rules around the English players, I don't know if it's like France. England have to pay their clubs to have their players for the championship. So I don't know if they're willing to pay for them to have a weekend off, or if they're playing. I doubt they would be playing. I'm sure.
I can't
France,
imagine.
Who knows? France, it might be like, no, we pay you. Come, you play.
Yeah, we're paying the bills around. So French rugby, I have to admit, mate, I've watched precious little of, and so the surprise there to me is that Po are back in the top 2, and Lyon, La Rochelle, Lyon, Bayonne were sort of there or thereabouts last year. They're certainly out of the picture this year. Racing is suddenly back in the top 6. Clermont are in there as well. Montpellier ran 13th or 12th or something last year, didn't they? So
I think they were relegation threatened at some point.
Yes.
That's the top 14 for you.
Altrad's got the checkbook out again this year.
I think it's Po actually who did that. Po, they up there because half their players are playing for the French national side now. I think they're centering at the Sogbe. They're all Po guys, so they've got a good team. Who knows if they're playing this weekend? I doubt it. So maybe they won't be going as well. But
strange things have happened in French rugby, haven't they?
But I think it's still the biggest story there is that Toulouse are doing a Saracens, that they are under investigation for.
I was going to ask you about this. So what's the quick summary there?
So what I understand it is that the players sold their image rights to an advertising company or PR company or whatever, which I understand they are allowed to do. It's not through the national union like in South Africa. It used to be that if you're a Springbok, the Springboks own your image rights. There, it's the players have their own image rights, or the club controls it, and the club sold, for instance, DuPont's image rights to whoever for €100,000, and that was paid to DuPont, and his photo has not shown up anywhere in any ads or anything like that through this image rights or this PR company. It seems, from what I understand, that the PR company was just, a shell, and it just went, the money just went through them to DuPont.
Catch and kill. We will buy your rights and not use them.
Yeah. That's what I understand. I could be wrong, and it's not just him; it's a few guys that it happened with. But he's obviously the golden boy, so it's all revolving
interesting. It's going to be an interesting weekend, then, isn't it? All of a sudden, we're having to keep an eye on 3 different competitions again, and
the fallout of England is probably going to keep going. No one's going to care about any of the Prem games. But for me, I'm back at Ellis Park hopefully this weekend, taking the little one with for the first time.
Oh, and that'd be cool, mate.
Yeah. She's going to see the big stadium, the Echo, and all the red seats that are open. But that's the plan. I'm excited for it. If just a little break from the big tournament, and then back into the Six Nations after that.
Have you organised a flyover for her?
No, maybe a Cessna, a glider.
Honey, when this fall, a really big plane flies over really, really close to the ground. That's not going to happen today.
It's really loud, and then there's fireworks, and you can't see the plane because it's obscured by the smoke. But we are told it's there.
Yes, and then the game starts, and it gets played in fog for 10 minutes. Where the rugby update is in a little bit of a hiatus at the moment, isn't it, mate? So where are we keeping track of it? You're just everywhere else. From what
I like I said before we started, I don't get a promotion. It makes you busy. That's basically what's happened to me. I did well at work, got more responsibility, and now the time to write and edit videos has evaporated. There is none of that anymore. I'm still planning on posting some videos. I am writing still in the background, but I just also had to take a bit of a break. 5 years of going nonstop, endless seasons. The brain was wrung dry. I couldn't think of another joke about, I don't know, some Connacht player that I've never seen before. So you just let the juices fill your own cup, as they say. I'll probably make maybe fewer videos, but more long form stuff. Otherwise, just Twitter and Blue Sky is basically the only places I go to. I cut together little videos and make jokes there. If you want
to catch Ringo on all of those not pod platforms, on all the social platforms. He's absolutely worth following, mate. It's been a fantastic chat. Great to catch up once again. Thanks so much for popping up on the new 8-9 rugby, mate.
Yeah, it's the same as ever. It's the same. Just felt like all the other times as well. Really enjoyed it.
Who's that other guy? Thanks, mate. Good on you.
Cheers.
Fantastic to have Riaan Louw on 8-9 Rugby for the first time in 2026. He's a long 8-9 favourite and has been a big supporter as well. So do go and find him on the socials. And I can't wait to keep these guest co-hosts coming each week. It's been a lot of fun. On 8-9 Rugby this week, Michael Atkinson joins me for the next episode of the Oz Rugby Scene, where we'll debrief the second weekend of the Super Rugby Pacific, including the continued form lines of the New South Wales Waratahs and the ACT Brumbies. So don't miss that. That's on the 8-9 Rugby and YouTube, and on wherever you pod as well. That'll be out Wednesday. And have you found 8-9 Rugby on Substack yet? Jeff Parks and I have been busy over the Australian summer and over the last month as well, building up a new outlet for rugby coverage, and we've cracked 500 subscribers just in this last week, which is fantastic. So we hope that you'll join us and also join in the discussion. We're adding a host of names that you know to bring unique insights and well-respected rugby opinions that you love as well. So find us on Substack. Subscribe now to the new exclusive home of Jeff's very widely regarded column, The Wrap, every Monday. and plenty more great rugby writing for the rest of the week as well. That then is another 8-9 Rugby episode done and behind us. My sincere thanks to Riaan Louw once again. Tell us what you think, absolutely, by finding 8-9 Rugby on the socials. You can have your say here on the 8-9 Rugby YouTube channel if that's where you're watching. And you can find me on the socials as well at BMC Sport. This is 8-9 Rugby, and we will be back in your ears this week with the Oz Rugby